Hello, Chef Val here, and it is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, and that means you only have 6 days left to get the 2026 Vegan Health Bundle, which I am a part of. This Vegan Health Bundle is amazing this year. There are over 70 different items, and it's worth over $4,500, and it's yours for only $49. But you must click the link in the description of this video to get the bundle before February 22nd, which is Sunday, because after midnight on the 22nd, this bundle goes away and you cannot get this collection of items ever again. This is a tremendous deal. Now, what I have in the bundle is my Cancer Healing and Prevention series that I taught last year. 4 classes. Each class is 2 hours long. You will get the recording of those classes. There's so much information in there. And this is a 65-page booklet that also goes along with it. This, if you were to purchase this on my website, is $140. The bundle is $49. And you're going to get this plus all the other items, over 70 items. Yeah, it's well worth your money. So today, I thought I would share with you one of my all-time favorite anti-cancer foods, fresh turmeric root. Have you had fresh turmeric root yet? Now, I know a lot of you use dried turmeric, and that's a great food. It's a great spice, and it has anti-cancer properties too. But the fresh turmeric, the flavor is just so much more enhanced. And actually, the healing properties are stronger in the fresh turmeric root. So I thought I would demonstrate for you how I work with fresh turmeric root in my kitchen. And so you can do that at home. Now, in my Cancer Healing and Prevention 4-week series, I use fresh turmeric root in the miso soup. This is a unique miso soup recipe. I have many, many miso soup recipes. But this one, all the ingredients in the soup have specific anti-cancer properties. So I put it together for this particular series, and one of them is the fresh turmeric root. So first of all, you're going to go to the store and you're going to buy fresh turmeric root. And you may not know what it looks like. And so I've already started to prep some of it, but I saved one of them to show you. It's so interesting. It's got this brown skin on it, and it kind of looks like ginger root, right? Because it's actually in the same category of family as ginger root, as turmeric. Now, my store has them like in these little containers. They're in the refrigerated section, and I happen to find some organic turmeric root. Bonus, I always try and buy organic whenever possible. Sometimes when I'm in a pinch and I just can't find organic turmeric root, I have bought in some that isn't because I really needed my turmeric root. But if you shop at health food stores, they're usually going to have the organic turmeric root for you. Now, when you buy it, sometimes it's hard because it's in a container and you can't really tell, but look at it in the container. It should be brown like this. It shouldn't really be wet or wilty, and God forbid you don't want like white mold on it, because then you know it's been in the container for way too long. Now, usually when you get this from the store and you get home, I would suggest you want to work with it within the next 3 to 5 days. So it's as fresh as possible and you don't run the risk of it going bad in your refrigerator after you bought it. And what was the point I was going to... how long does it last in your fridge? Well, like this, in its form like this, after you buy it from the store, probably about a week, okay? But it does go bad, and you'll see like mold growing on it, and then you wouldn't be able to use it. So once you get it from the store, use it as quick as possible. Now, I take the skin off because the skin is like paper, and it's not very pleasing texture-wise. So I have a peeler. Now, here's what you need to know. When you work with fresh turmeric root, everything is going to get stained. I've already been working with it. Can you see my fingers? My fingers are already like got this weird yellowish color. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to stain everything. So this is my turmeric cutting board. It's permanently stained. There is nothing you can do about it. This is the board that I use for my turmeric. It's the only board I use for my turmeric. And then when I put it in my food processor, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I usually have to clean the food processor with a little bit of bleach. I'm trying to clean it, but even when I do that, it gets kind of stained. There's nothing you can do about it. But I use my food processor a lot. After using it for a while, the stain kind of goes away. But it depends on how much turmeric you use. I use a lot of fresh turmeric, and I put it in the freezer, so I always have frozen turmeric. So that's why my stuff tends to get stained, but it's no big deal. I have multiple food processors. This one here, the bowl is kind of older, so I don't really care. But just so you know, when you work with it, so if you get the fresh turmeric root on your counter, it's going to leave a little mark. I mean, it's going to be there wherever, okay? So I always use my cutting trick, right? I put water on my cutting board, but nothing is going to stop the turmeric from staining your cutting board. Even my trick, if you've attended any of my cooking classes, you know, I tell you put water on your cutting board. It fills in the pores of the wood so the wood doesn't absorb the color and the odor you're cutting, except for turmeric. There's nothing you can do. So I have a specific cutting board for it. I take my peeler. This is one of my favorite peelers ever. It's super old. I don't care. It works really good. I just love it. And I just take the skin off, like so. And the reason why I'm taking the skin off is because this is kind of like ginger, and the skin is like paper, and it just doesn't have a very good texture. So I take the skin off, right? But you just take one layer of skin off like so, and it's this beautiful bright orange color. It does have variations of color. Sometimes it's a bright orange, sometimes it's a little more yellow, but that's pretty much the color. I cut the end off and the end off, again, getting rid of the skin, and then I'll cut it in a couple pieces. I'm going to put it in the bowl over here. I'm getting ready to chop it up more. Now, I get rid of this right away because the longer you leave it on the cutting board, the more it's going to stain. And I already did some pieces before I started the video, right? And I'm going to get my knife, give my knife a rinse there. I'm going to take that off on my peeler. Then I'll put the peeler in the sink. Again, I'm also using a black kitchen rag. A lot of times I use a pink kitchen rag because that's my signature color, pink. But the pink rag will get stained from the turmeric. So we got to get rid of that. I'll take look at this. Take a paper towel to it first, and then I'll wash it. But that's very important. You want to clean it up right away. The longer the turmeric stays there, the more it's going to stain, right? All right. So now I'm going to put it in the food processor. Now, a lot of recipes say to use grated fresh turmeric. And when I first discovered fresh turmeric, I would take it home and I would grate it. That was very time consuming, and especially because I'm a chef and I use a larger quantity of it, I said there's got to be a better way to do this. So what do? I put it in the food processor and I puree it up until it's minced very small, which would be the same thing as grating it, just so much easier, right? Okay, so we're going to take the food processor, we're going to put the chunks of turmeric in there, and I'm just going to puree it until it's minced. You can see how it's working really well. And then I try and find the darkest color spatula I have. I have this dark purple one, and I'm going to scrape down the sides, because if I was to use my beautiful pink spatulas, they would get stained from the turmeric, right? So I'm going to scrape down the sides like so. Turn it on again, mince it up some more. Might have to scrape down the side again. I see a chunk right there. But you're chopping it up to really small pieces. And by the way, it smells amazing. I love the smell of fresh turmeric root. Oh, just amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, there we go. Got the fresh turmeric root. Now here's what I do. I take these cute little cups and I take 1 tablespoon and I measure 1 tablespoon of the grated fresh turmeric in there like so. and I put it in the cup. All right. And now I put a lid on it. I have lids for these cups too. And I put this in the refrigerator first, and then if I want to use it, I use it right away. If I don't, I put this in the freezer. So I always have fresh grated turmeric in my freezer ready to go. And I have it in quantities of 1 tablespoon, because 1 tablespoon to me, when I create my recipes, is an excellent amount. Like the miso soup recipe in the Cancer Healing and Prevention series calls for 1 tablespoon of fresh turmeric in your pot of soup. If I make a casserole, I usually put 1 tablespoon of turmeric in it. It's just a great quantity. Can you see the color of that? The color is just beautiful. Look at the color of this. And then as soon as I'm done with the video, I will package up the rest of this turmeric so it doesn't stay in the food processor very long. Again, the longer it stays, the more it's going to stain. Okay? So that's your fresh turmeric root. Now, the health benefits of turmeric root, the strong anti-cancer properties. In fact, turmeric root is one of the strongest anti-inflammatory foods on the planet. I've used it for so many different things to help fight inflammation. So this is the package you get with the 4-week series that I have in the bundle. And so all the information is typed out for you also. So the turmeric root, here's the information. I already told you it's the strongest anti-inflammatory. It's a natural painkiller too. Yeah, so when you're dealing with disease such as cancer, you're going to be in pain. It has natural painkiller. It's a natural remedy for arthritis because of the strong anti-inflammatory properties. It also has anti-cancer properties. Plus, it helps detoxify your liver. Has natural antiseptic and antibacterial agents. Recently, they have been studying showing that it helps with removing the amyloid plaque buildup in the brain. Therefore, it may help with Alzheimer's disease. It can help soothe an upset stomach. When using the fresh turmeric root, you want to use more than the dry. So for the miso soup recipe, there's like 1 tablespoon of fresh turmeric root. If you were going to use dry, I would use 1 teaspoon. When you dry it, the flavor is more concentrated. So just so you know. And dried turmeric root, they do partially boil the turmeric root first, and then they grind it and dry it. Where the fresh turmeric root, nothing's happened to it. I think that's why the flavor is stronger. And from the information that I've studied, the fresh turmeric root actually is stronger for you, right? So antibacterial, anti-inflammatory properties. I have used turmeric root, not only in my food, because I love the taste of it, I've used it atopically put on something that was inflamed, and that has helped also. I've used it personally for myself and also for my cats, for my pets, because the turmeric's not going to hurt them. Absolutely. I use it for flavor also. It has an amazing flavor. Just wonderful. So that's the fresh turmeric root. And in the series that you're going to get in the bundle, my Cancer Healing and Prevention, I go over all of the health benefits, of the sea vegetables. Each class features a sea vegetable, features all these different ingredients, and I emphasize on the anti-cancer properties in the series. Now, in the bundle, right, there's so much wonderful information. I get excited about the recipes, right, being a chef. And so there are a couple recipes in there that use turmeric. So Nicole Fergelman has Eat Your Way to Health, Fermented Foods. So it's a book and videos with fermented food. So I just did today, they're not done yet, I did some fermented fresh turmeric root. Can't wait to taste those. And let's see, there's Chef Mark Reinfield has 20 oil-free vegan sauces. And one of those sauces has turmeric in it. I'm going to put fresh turmeric in that recipe and make a version of his sauce recipe in there. So there's all that right there. And then, of course, I have been bragging about Chef Julia Dunaway's sourdough whole wheat cooking class all week long. If you've been watching my recipes, here is my sourdough bread. I've been eating some of it every day. Pretty soon it's going to be gone, but I can't say enough about her video and her class. It is amazing. If you ever want to learn about sourdough, you got to get the bundle and you've got to watch this class. It's fantastic. I did Lori Laundrie's brownies with sweet potato and beans. You can see the pan is half eaten already. Very chocolatey and delicious and wonderful. And then today I just did Nate Maris's hummus. It's called, let me get the name correct, Crimson Crush Hummus. So I made this out of Nate Maris's book. It's Crack, Spread, Repeat. So that is a book with crackers and sauces and spreads. And I changed his recipe a little bit because he's all raw, but that's okay because there's both in the bundle, raw recipes, and then there's, recipes that are cooked. There's everything for everybody in there. And you can always just change the ingredients a little bit. And I will be talking with Nate Maris. I'm so excited. He's going to be on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be interviewing him on Friday, September 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. So pay attention to my YouTube channel every day. I'm going live and I'm interviewing all these wonderful people. And his wife, Nate's wife, is Melissa Maris. I will be interviewing her on Thursday, February 19th, the day before at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm on Eastern Time. I'm in Michigan. Now, Melissa Maris is known as Raw Food Romance, and her and Chef AJ are the leaders in our wonderful 2026 Vegan Health Bundle. The two of them put it together, and they're just amazing, the amazing duo, right? So I can't wait to talk to Melissa. Now, Melissa and Chef AJ have a book in the bundle, Make It Raw, number 4. They've done 4 books together. But in this book, they have a recipe for black licorice, a vegan black licorice recipe. I am going to be attempting to, make that one later on this week. So stay tuned. That'll be awesome. And what I did with Nate's hummus and Chef Julia Dunaway's sourdough bread, I am going to eat the two together. So I put some of his hummus on a slice of this delicious sourdough bread. Those are some of the things that are in the bundle. Now, I just did an interview like yesterday with these 2 wonderful ladies. Make sure you check out what's in the bundle that they have. They have a spiritual background. I'm looking for their names so that I get their names right. There's so much in the bundle. There's over 70 items. So, yeah, the inner life of vegan health. The 2 wonderful ladies, Reverend Dina and MQ. I call her MQ. That's a short version of her name. Both of these ladies have a background in energy healing and spirituality. I had such a great conversation with them. Check out that video. And they have a video in there. Again, I really enjoyed this video. So there's everything in the bundle. There's recipes, there's videos, and Connie DeCramer has another internal loving yourself spiritual video for the vegan lifestyle. And then we have 3 different books written about the personal journey of healing themselves by 3 different men. We have a strong male energy in the bundle, which I'm super excited about. We have Nate Maris that I mentioned earlier. He's got a book called Full Mast. I'm going to be asking him about that on Friday. And we have Chuck Carroll, Lost and Found, Hope and Healing Through Medical Mystery. Again, his healing journey about how when he changed his diet, it makes such a huge difference. And there's another one on here, Tim Kaufman, Escape, Break Free from Self-Made Prison. Now, I've started reading that book. That one's really interesting about how he healed himself. So those are just some of the things that are in the bundle. There's over 70 different things in the bundle, worth $4,500 or more, actually, for only $49. But you have to get the bundle now. If you really, there's so much in the bundle. You'll learn about health. You'll learn about having more energy. You'll learn about how to love yourself more, the spiritual side, how this lifestyle has helped other people. And there's so many different tips in there, like what I just showed you, how to work with fresh turmeric root. There's so many things in the bundle like that you're really, really going to enjoy. So you have until February 22nd at midnight to buy the bundle. So the link is in the description of this video. Click the link. It'll take you to the website. You will see all that's in the bundle, and everything is a digital download. So I advise that you download everything on a flash drive. That's what I did. And then you'll be able to keep everything forever because you got it on a download. If you need help with that, there's also online assistance with the bundle. Like once you purchase it, what do you do? How do you use it? Because some people don't know. And there's also assistance for that. So you'll be able to, get help with that if that's something that you need. We're just here to help all of you. And we're here to, promote our wonderful products so that we can share them with you at a fantastic price, $49. Yeah, click on that link, check out the bundle, and then go ahead and purchase the bundle. And I greatly appreciate it. For now, get in the kitchen and cook healthy.